He was Australia's Prime Minister for just 3 years, but Gough Whitlam's impact was out of all proportion to time served. That's partly because of what he did, but also because of the controversial way he was removed from office. A privileged background made Gough Whitlam an unlikely leader of a Labour Party that had been out of government for more than 2 decades. When Labour won the election in 1972, Whitlam made up for lost time. Very quickly, he ended conscription and Australia's military involvement in Vietnam. The last elements of the White Australia policy, discrimination against non-white immigrants, were abolished. Whitlam gave Aborigines rights to their ancestral land. He established diplomatic links with China and weakened ties with Britain, replacing God Save the Queen with Advance Australia Fair as the national anthem. And Whitlam introduced socially progressive measures that remain today: universal healthcare, legal aid and the abolition of the death penalty. The reforms, though, were expensive, and in 1975 Australia's upper house of Parliament, controlled by an opposition party, used a power it never had before, blocking government plans by refusing to approve their cost. To Whitlam's amazement, the British Queen's representative in Australia, the Governor-General, resolved the standoff by sacking him. Australia's Prime Minister dismissed by a man most assumed had only ceremonial power. On the steps of Parliament, the Governor-General's secretary read out the dismissal, ending with the traditional God Save the Queen. Whitlam's response:
"Well, may we say God Save the Queen. Because nothing will save the Governor-General."
The protests were fierce, but Whitlam himself accepted his dismissal, expecting Australians' outrage to swing behind him in the forthcoming election. It didn't. Labour lost in a landslide, but much of what it had achieved endured.
Gough Whitlam would like to be remembered, I think, as a great visionary social reformer, but the truth is he'll be remembered more as a Labour martyr. The events of the dismissal in 1975 framed him.
After leaving office, Gough Whitlam became an elder statesman of Australian politics, representing the country abroad and giving advice to Prime Ministers of all stripes who followed him.
The irony about Gough Whitlam is that though his achievements were substantial, it will always be his dismissal that he's remembered best for. That event, the appointed representative of a Queen from another country sacking Australia's elected leader, is one indelibly etched on the Australian psyche. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.